Welcome, 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 Panther Nation. This is a very, very defining moment. The very, very first episode. Thank you. Shout out to Bar 5015. Have allowed us to be able to come into their space and to be able to turn it into a Prairie View space for a little moment. But this is a defining moment, a new era, y'all, in Prairie View A&M University football. I'm your host, Karl Mayes. This is the new Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. I'm going to introduce you. Sit to the right. Y'all can go ahead and just be looking at him, but I'm going to get to him in a minute. But I'm also joined by my PV's own co-host, my student co-host, should I say, Miss Jaylen Cole.
Hi.
That's right.
Welcome.
And we're going to have a great time, and I want to let y'all know something just so that you know, so I can, set a little bit of the rules. We just want to make sure that we talk to the people. We got a lot going on. This is a new era in Prairie View football. I'm excited. The man's name is in the title. Sitting to my right, I want to make sure y'all know, y'all please give a round of applause for Coach Tremaine Jackson, our new head coach. So, man, listen. But before I do want to ask this, Jaylen, are you excited about what's happening with Prairie View's football?
I'm beyond excited. There's a whole new energy here on the Hill, and just fans are going to love what's going on this season. We're so excited to see what's going on, how camp went, and what to look forward.
I'm excited too. Listen, but I got to make sure because one of the things I always talk about is that anytime our alumnus who are big followers of the program, one of the things is that they're kind of disconnected, but they're connected, right? And you allow a few cameras in, put up just a little bit of something so they only know just what they kind of see. I want to start right quick with one question. I know you came in, you wanted to make sure you wanted to implement your culture. How do you feel like that's coming since you've been on the Hill?
Yeah, it's been going good. We've hired 23 coaches. We've got all kind of student support and media, and we got a general manager. We've got football ops. We got everything that's normal in college football. And so when you can get to some normalcy, then we think you got a chance to win. And so that's what's been really exciting about where we are. The culture is going in. It's a slow process, but we feel like we're so much better than when we got here, and things are looking in the right direction.
I got you. So let me ask you this, because I think this is also kind of key. And Jaylen, feel free to be able to jump in whenever you want. I want to know, I've read 247 Sports says that Prairie View A&M University, the recruiting, got the #1 recruiting class in the SWAC.
Yeah, that's.
Is that? I mean, how true is that? Because sometimes people put stuff out there, but I want to know. I mean, we're listening right now.
Yeah, no, that's the publication that came out, and we don't put a lot of stock in that as a football staff.
Okay.
We gonna retweet anytime they say we #1.
That's right.
We're gonna retweet and put it out there. Dr. Williams and his team and the player personnel people, they did a really good job. Our coaches helping us find people. But you don't know if you have the #1 recruiting class until you play.
That's exactly
you gotta go
right.
to the field, and that's kind of how we think about it.
That's right. That's right. So how do you feel about what you've seen thus far? Because I think we 1 week out from Labor Day Classic. How do you feel going into the Classic? I'm only saying that because shout out to the audience that's here. Yeah. We got a few implants out here. Yeah. I'll call them implants. We call them our sister schools. Shout out to TSU. But at the end of the day, some of them are in the building. Yeah. And it's okay for us to be able to toot. But I want to know how you feel about what we got, what we're looking like.
Man, 2 weeks ago, I walked in the AD Golf's office and said, man, I don't know. I don't know about some of these guys, man. These guys coming from these places, they don't know how to practice. We had a scrimmage last week, and we've gotten better. And so now we're at that point in camp where we got to play against somebody else in order to find out what we are. And as we tell the players every day, we won't know what we are until the end. So it's kind of everybody can think about it, want to see, speculate, but we won't know what we are until December the 6th. If we're hosting the SWAC championship game December 6th,
that's right.
If we're playing in Atlanta December 13th,
that's right. Speaking,
we were pretty good.
That's right. I feel the same way. Yeah. Now this is another thing because I always think about buy-in. When you think about buy-in, I don't care, most of, the people that are in our studio audience, we talk about buy-in and moving into new employment, whether, even though we're talking about it from an athletic standpoint, but sometimes when you come in and you are the person that has to maneuver and move things around in order to get to the outcome that you're seeking, how do you feel like, as far as the team, the buy-in to the culture of what you've come from?
Yeah, I think first we had to buy into the culture that AD Golf set in the department. And that fit, we knew that fit through the interview process. And then once we bought into that and we started spreading the message of what we wanted to bring that we agreed upon, our coaches bought in. Anytime you put 23 new guys together, only 7 of those guys came with me from where we were.
Wow.
So we got a lot of new faces in the coaching staff room. Anytime those bonds are strong and tight, then when the players come, it's easy. You either buy in or you get out.
That's right.
And so that's kind of where we were over the summer. We tell our guys, don't complain, transfer. This might not be the place for you.
I love it.
But you're going to do what we tell you to do, and we stand firm on that. And I'm proud that our players have done that. And you see that with our GPA from the spring, being the highest it's ever been. And so that's how, if you really want to know if somebody's bought into something, just look and see if they go to school, because that's the one thing they probably really don't want to do.
My man, you said a mouthful with that one. And for those of you that don't follow the social media, you can kind of keep up with that. I keep up with it. I'm allowing him to talk about it because one thing I don't want to do is look like I'm stalking. But at the end of the day, PVAMU FB is what you want to make sure you follow to know more about this team. Jaylen, go ahead.
Yeah. So you talked about a lot of the culture. I want to know more so from a player aspect. How do you think your players have bought in? You've mentioned that, like, you buying into what AD Goff has set forth, but how have your players bought into what you have? You have such a strong personality. How does that work on the field and off the field?
Yeah, I think for me, finishing fall camp and nobody quitting tells me that we're headed in the right direction. We don't it ain't gummy bears and butterflies in our fall camp.
Right.
It ain't fluffy and fun. We're here to get a lot of work done, and in a time where guys are getting paid to really not do much at all. And so our guys went to work. They've been in since July 29th. They went to work. We've had our highs and lows, our ups and our downs, but they stayed, and they keep showing up every day, and they keep wanting to be successful. And so I think that's the true judgment for me in my seat on if we're bought in. They keep coming back, and we've put them through it. And so if you come to our practices, we put them through it, and so our guys continue to show up in a great way, and that they learn to love one another. And that's a really big deal in what we're trying to get done.
So here's another thing that I think is important, and it's probably more of an expanded topic, but how have you used the whole NIL thing to your advantage in getting the team to be in the direction that you want them to be?
Yeah, name, image, and likeness. In order for you to benefit from that, you have to have a name, image, or a likeness. And so everybody wants NIL. People just want to get paid, right? That's not us. That's not how we do things. We tell our guys all the time, if you want some name, image, and likeness, go out and make a play. Get your name called. Have an image of you out there doing something, making a play, and then have somebody want to be like you, and you'll have a likeness. And so if you don't have those things, you're just playing ball for fun, right?
That's right.
If you want to profit off of yourself and off you benefiting off your name, image, or likeness, you got to have one first. And now I will say we're going to participate.
Yeah.
We're going to be full throttle in it, but we are a get as your works deserve program.
That's right.
Nobody's just going to give you something because you showed up here and decided to come to Prairie View A&M. We don't even give out single digits like that. You got to earn your single digits.
That's right.
So,
I agree.
We're a true old school program. A lot of people didn't think that would work for us, but obviously we got the guys that we got. We feel good about them, and those guys stayed. So we think it's in the right direction.
Good. Now, would you call your program blue collar? Matic. You heard it. Dogmatic. Look, before we go any further, I do want to make sure I jump in. I got to make sure that our sponsors, we want to show them that they help make this thing possible. We want to let them know, everybody know about them as well. But we have Houston Methodist?
Yes, PVAMU Federal Credit Union, AT&T's, and Better Days Chiropractic Clinic for supporting the PVAMU Athletics Department. That's
right. So shout out to all of them. We're going to make sure that you all know more about most of our sponsors that will be coming on board. Definitely, if you're tuned into this right now, you understand that we have a more expansive thing. We'll be doing this show every single week. Going to definitely do recaps on the games before. Sometimes, I don't even know what this man's temperament might be if they don't show up like they show, right? But the biggest thing about it is we're going to make sure we get a chance to be able to talk about it. We do have our AD in the building. We're going to make sure we get a chance to be able to get him there. In the meantime, y'all hold tight. We'll be right back. Panther Nation, get ready to hear it straight from the source. A new voice, a new vision, a new era in Prairie View A&M University football has arrived. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. I'm your host, Karl Mayes, and every week this fall, I will be sitting down with head coach Tremaine Jackson, along with student co-host Jaylen J.C. Cole, to bring you exclusive insight, game breakdowns, and powerful conversations straight from the Hill. Catch every episode on the PVAMU Athletics YouTube channel starting August 22nd at 12 noon and dropping weekly throughout the football season. So subscribe now, smash that bell icon, and be the first to hear the coach himself. He'll be raw, he'll be real, and ready for the spotlight. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. And we are back. That's right, y'all. We are back to the new show. And I want to make sure y'all know the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. And we are here with one of our men that actually lead the university, especially when we talk about our athletics. He is definitely here to make sure he gets a chance to be able to talk to you all about some things we want to make sure we get from him, all right? So hold tight. Y'all do me a favor. Please give a warm welcome, round of applause to our athletic director, Anton Goff, a.k.a. Jay-Z, a.k.a. the coolest athletic director in the SWAC. Just so that y'all know. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, bro? Good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to be seen. Listen, I know that, we're excited about, what Coach Jackson is about to do. I always claim it, so I talk in a more forward, progressive note. You know what I'm saying? Like we've already won, so I'm already say that. But you made it clear just this season. You said it's about building something long-lasting. What's your overall vision of Prairie View athletics this year?
So this year we're about building a brand new identity, right?
I love it.
This past spring we've hired 5 brand new coaches, right? You got Coach Jackson football. We hired Coach Dillard women's basketball, Coach Hampton volleyball, Coach Ware in men's and women's golf, and then Coach Doolin for baseball.
Wow.
So we are changing the identity of PV athletics, and we are about 5 different things, man. I call them the Panther pillars, right?
Love it, love it.
And it's athletic excellence,
Okay.
academic excellence, community service, career development, and personal development.
I love it. I love it.
So you mentioned academic excellence. What is supporting the student athletes look like for you this semester?
So basically this past semester, we had a 3.3 departmental GPA, right? And I really want to get to a 3.5.
Okay.
But a 3.3 is higher than anybody else on campus. So we're winning on that end, but I like to strive for the highest as possible, right? And so it's about making sure our student athletes are having a great academic experience and athletic experience and graduating, and not only just graduating, but being prepared for what happens after you finish your student athlete experience.
I think that is amazing, first. Because I think that sometimes, athletes get caught in the fluff, like with just being an athlete, but we know the word is student athlete. And that dash means that student comes first, athlete comes second. Now, again, we know we're pushing them to be their greatest version on the fields or on the court, and definitely their greatest versions in life. I want to know from you, what holistically do you think that these students need to make sure they have, like, in their bag when they finish, whether it be athletics and school or both?
So for me, I think, one, mentors, right? And that's what our coaches and our administrators are, but I also think communication skills, right? Our student athletes in this generation are so caught up in social media.
Yes, they are.
That the art of communication is lost sometimes. And so we want to make sure we fill in that gap. And then the biggest thing is networking, right? A lot of people don't understand, like, yeah, you can have a degree, but if you don't have a network that help you get to where you need to be, it's hard to get there.
That's right. That's right. One of the things we always, speak about is that relationships are more valuable than money, right? Because if you don't develop relationships, you can have all the degrees in the world, but you can't talk to certain people and they can't walk you in certain doors. Y'all know what that's about? That's a whole nother topic. We'll make sure we talk about it. But in the meantime, and in between time, I do want to say this. Listen, there's an initiative I know that you're trying to push to impact the fans. What do you want? If you had to talk to any 3 of these cameras, I want to know from you, what is it that the fan, not just our alumni, but the fan can do to be able to improve supporting the athletics and also to help with their experience when they come to our Prairie View athletics?
Absolutely. So 3 things. 1, show up to the games.
Show up.
Whether it's football, basketball, softball, soccer, what have you, right? So that's number 1. The second thing is to donate. Donate your money.
Donate.
Because let me tell you something.
Yes.
Winning costs. I've been around 30 years doing this, and I've never been to a place where we won and money wasn't involved.
That's right.
Right? So winning
right.
costs. And then the third thing is most important, donate your time.
Yeah.
Your time is the most important thing. Like these fans right here,
Yeah.
they could be anywhere else that they want in the entire county, world, whatever, but they chose
right.
to come here tonight. And I appreciate that.
That's right.
So donate your time so that our student athletes, our athletic department, our university understand the importance.
That's right. That's right. I think that's amazingly said. Listen, a lot of people like to I call it hide. Stop hiding. I'm just letting y'all know. Stop hiding. Come if you are truly down with not only Prairie View, A&M University, but you're down for the swag. We want to make sure that we have the same type of support that some of these other conferences have, and it's on its way. The best thing in the world, though, the game experience is none other than amazing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And we want to make sure we continue to keep that up. I have high expectations. What made you, when you sat down, and I'm sure you did, I'm suspecting that you did, when you sat down with Coach Jackson, you already knew his resume. You knew what he was bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? But you sat down. What made you say, this is the guy, though?
I didn't say this is the guy. I said, you're my guy.
I like it.
And let me tell you, man, he talks about it all the time. I talk about it all the time. Alignment, right? He looked at Prairie View, and he had a vision for Prairie View. I've been at Prairie View for almost 2 years, a year and a half. I had a vision for Prairie View. When we laid our visions out, they matched, right? It was about, you know what? Yeah, we want to win a SWAC, but we want to win national championships. We want to be at the highest level of Texas football, right? And then we just talked about personal stuff, right? And for me, it's about making a connection, right? He talked about the importance of his mama. I talk about the importance of my mama, right?
That's right.
Talked about the importance of his fraternity, importance of my fraternity, right? The importance of helping young men go from young men to grown men.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And so the football thing, once we established that, it was the personal things, right? And we got to a point, man, I'm telling me and this guy talked every night, right?
I love it.
For 45 to 50 to an hour and a half, just about life and dreams and wants and all that. And I got to a point, and I just said, hey, man, you're my guy.
That's it.
And he said, yo, AD Golf, you're my guy.
Love it.
And at that point, it was just about money on the table, and we made that work.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm glad you made a choice, man, because first of all, he has impeccable energy. He definitely makes me want to run through a wall. I don't play no more, but I was like, I want to run through a wall.
No doubt.
The biggest thing is having a team of young men that believe the same way you do about him.
Absolutely.
That's the most amazing part. So any type of support that he needs in order to be able to accomplish the goal that he needs, how valuable of that is for him to talk to you about that, and how will you respond to that?
Yo, so that's amazing you said that. As we were going through the initial process, and he said, hey, man, our visions are the same. In order for us to get from point A to point B to the championship, these are the things I need. So say there was 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
6 of them I said, I got you.
Yeah.
Another 3, I was like, hey, man, you know what? I'm not sure I can get that, but you know what? I'm going to work my tail off to get it for you. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
And then this last one, I probably can't get you that, man, but we'll work on that on another time, right? And say of the 9, I got 9 for him, right? The extra ones I worked on as we were transitioning them in, and I called him one day. I said, hey, man, who's your best AD? He said, you, my man. I said, I got you 7 through 9. Right? Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about.
And so I understand what he needed to win a championship, because I'm all about providing the resources to win championships.
That's right.
And so the one thing that he appreciated, and he tells me this all the time, was the integrity of, you didn't promise me something you couldn't give me. Right? Because I would never want to promise, like, hey, I can get you 1 through 10. He gets here, and I can only give him 4.
Yeah.
That to me, my word is my bond.
That's right.
And
that's
so
and it matters.
That's how our relationship has evolved, and that's why we have a great love for each other.
That's good. It just made me excited. JC, I want to do this, and this is putting you on the spot a little bit. You being, you're definitely, student communication. I mean, you're doing your thing as it relates to media. How excited, even listening to this? I mean, you're up close and personal. How excited are you, not just as a student, but as a fan of Prairie View A&M University football, how excited are you about this season?
It makes me very excited this season. I'm very much looking forward to the Labor Day Classic as well as the State Fair Classic in Dallas. Those are the two biggest games that I'm most looking forward for. But looking at it from a student media person, the wheels in my head are turning. I have so much content ideas for the football team and just for athletics in general. But I guess the most pressing question on my mind, really quickly to pivot, is what does mental health look like to you for these student athletes? How do you, we talked about academic excellence on the field, but what does protecting our student athletes look like to you?
That's super important. When I talk about personal development or our 5 pillars, mental health is right in there, right? Because what I know is that a student athlete cannot perform at their highest level if they're not physically or mentally healthy. And so we've got priority on mental health. We've got on campus with our health center, providing them with telehealth, those type of things where they can call in and get hours to talk with them. You know, back in my day, we didn't talk about mental health, and I'm an old man, played a long time ago, right? But now that's super important for a student athlete to be able to feel like, hey, you know what? I need to feel good both physically and mentally, and so we want to make sure that our student athletes are getting that. That's a super big priority for us under our personal development pillar.
Listen, y'all, we got more coming up, y'all. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Y'all sit tight. Do me a favor. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Panther Nation, get ready to hear it straight from the source. A new voice, a new vision, a new era in Prairie View A&M University football has arrived. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. I'm your host, Karl Mayes, and every week this fall, I will be sitting down with head coach Tremaine Jackson, along with student co-host Jaylen Cole, to bring you exclusive insight, game breakdowns, and powerful conversations straight from the Hill. Catch every episode on the PVAMU Athletics YouTube channel starting August 22nd at 12 noon and dropping weekly throughout the football season. So subscribe now, smash that bell icon, and be the first to hear the coach himself. He'll be raw, he'll be real, and ready for the spotlight. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. And we're back, y'all. That's right, the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Listen, I want to make sure y'all know something. We have the 2 gentlemen on here today, and I want to make sure y'all know something. Just because y'all sitting in front of you, but you don't have to act for the camera. Be who you are, because I'm gonna ask you some questions. And we're gonna kind of make sure we blend this thing up a little bit. Now, here's something I wanted to ask both of you all. In working together in tandem, they say the character of a man or a woman is defined by how they respond to adversity, right? Even though you all met in common ground, you talked to him, you know, he didn't have all the stresses, you didn't have all the stresses, you knew he was going to be the man, he knew he was going to, whatever. Now that it's time for action, Jackson, I'm just letting you know, sometimes when them walls feel like they closing in many different ways, you've been in this industry a while, I want to know, just being able to navigate that if things don't go as you expect them and vice versa. How do you all, I'm going to use another word that they use in science, coagulate and work together to be able to still get a common outcome so that we can make sure that we grow? Because they say growth is a great statement, but I'll say it for PV. We say, here we grow again, all right? So we're going to figure that out. But the biggest thing I want to know, how do you all handle that? How do you expect to possibly handle that, knowing that you're about to embark upon some uncharted territory?
So first and foremost, communication, right? Me and this man talk probably 6 times a day, man, right? Whether he comes to my office first thing in the morning, I go to his office first thing in the morning. So the communication is there, right? In the office and outside the office. We spend time outside of the office, right? We have been going through trials and tribulations that folks don't know. We call them scuffles and squabbles,
that's
right? And so we handle those by communicating and figuring out how we can get things done, right? And so that's my take. I'll let him answer his take.
Yeah, no, I think AD hit it on the head, man. People don't know what happens in an athletic office daily, but let alone when you're in transition, bringing in a new coaching staff, getting people onboarded, Man, the amount of conversations he and I have had, they ain't always been. People think he just tell Tremaine yes. That's not what happens. You know, Tremaine go in there and ask for a lot of stuff, and I get told no too. So for whoever's watching, just know football gets told no.
Yes.
But what I love about AD Golf is we try to find a way. We try to find a common ground to get what we need for our students' success.
That's right.
We haven't even gotten to the things that we imagine doing.
Right.
We're fighting to get to normal in some areas.
That's right. That's right.
And in order for us to get to normal, we got to be on the same page. We got to be lockstep. And the football coach holds a lot of weight in the department. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Not like I'm asking for it.
Right.
And so when the football coach adheres to the AD, everybody else ain't got no choice.
That's right. That's right.
And so that's just how we do it. Man, I respect the chair.
Yeah.
But most of all, I respect the man in the chair.
That's right.
And so I came here because of AD Golf.
Yeah.
And when you do something like that, man, when you put your career in somebody's hand, and like we talked about, then we make sure we get to a common ground, regardless of how it started.
Yes.
And so, but you know, I like to tell folks, I get told no.
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
That people know football don't just get whatever, but we do whatever we can for the betterment of our student athletes.
I got
in
it.
every sport.
I love it. I love it.
And let me say this.
Yeah.
The one thing we always talk about is playing cards face up, right? Like,
I like that
we come to the table like, hey man, here's my cards, right? This is what I'm talking about, and so there ain't no, hey, I'm hiding a spade up here or a trump card. Like we play cards face up, man, and so that's the level of respect we have for each other.
I love it. You know what? I think as long, foundationally, as long as y'all stay right there, I think we'll work great. But here's the other thing, and the reason why I'm asking you these type of questions is because we're gonna spend 14 weeks together, right?
Absolutely.
And here's the unique thing. They want to get to know the personalities, right? Because they're gonna already be seeing it on the field with how you are the players. But the biggest thing is this: you come from a winning culture, both of you, right? In the event, and I always just say it, and again, this is not wishing anything because we win it all season. How is your temperament when there's a loss right here coming on the table? How do you kind of decipher and navigate through that to still be able to come out on the positive end of progression?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you every loss is a lesson. That's a lie. It's a loss.
I appreciate that.
If you lose, you lose. What you have to figure out is how not to allow that to happen again.
Got it.
And so one loss can turn into two, especially in college football. You can get so down and out about a loss maybe you wasn't supposed to have that you end up spiraling out for the rest of the season.
Never thought about that.
And you got to keep your guys focused.
That's right.
These days, man, a lot of guys are front runners. It just is what it is, and it's the way that they were raised.
Yeah.
And so when they experience not being successful, they can spiral out of control, which the young lady mentioned mental health. Their mental health goes bad.
Wow.
When things don't happen the way they picture them happening. So what we have to do is quickly dissect how that can never happen again. The last time we lost a regular season game, we played Fantasia. Sometimes you got to lose to win again.
Okay.
Big on music and themes and give it to our guys.
Yeah.
And we didn't lose a regular season game after that.
But
it reset us. And so you got to reset, figure out why that happened. I start with myself. Every time we're not successful, it is my fault.
Got it.
And we own that, and so we got to look at everything holistically. But the one thing you won't hear me say is we got to get back to the basics.
Right.
We just try to stay basic. We don't want to go to press conferences and tell lies.
That's right.
If we didn't get it done that day, we just didn't get it done. Oh, it was snowing outside, we couldn't see. Man, we didn't get it done.
No,
if that should ever happen.
Yeah.
Which we don't plan on that happening.
Right.
Then we reset and we get back to the basics. And, I appreciate having an AD that played football.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Because I don't have to go in there and go, well, he was like, hey, man, so-and-so dropped that ball on the 13-yard line.
Yeah.
And it makes it, he knows we weren't good on third down. Yeah. He understands what it takes to win and why we weren't successful.
That's right. That's right.
So it makes it a lot easier when you have an AD that played.
So he said everything that I echo, but here's the other thing too. There are times that a win will then cause a loss because of the way you handle it, right? You know what I'm saying? And so we talk about that. Like we can't win. For instance, we can't beat TSU and then think we've won the whole conference. You know what I'm saying? And not focus on the next game. You know what I'm saying? And so those are the things we talk about, and those are the things that we like. Here's the one thing I know about both of us. We hate losing almost as much as we love winning.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Let that marinate. Let that marinate. I know some of y'all in there, just so that we don't go fast. Let that marinate. Say that again one time.
We hate losing almost as much as we love winning.
Wow. Well, you know what? That means you stay even keel, because don't get too high on yourself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we stacking days, right? We stacking days, we stacking games. One game at a time, 1 week at a time.
That's how you got to do it.
Last question before we go to break. I need to know something. From what you've seen at the scrimmage, how do you feel going into Labor Day Classic in a week?
I feel good. Like, I've watched this team from spring until last week, right? We've gotten bigger, stronger, faster.
Got it.
That's what you want. You want to see development. You want to see change.
That's right.
Now, we ain't played against nobody, right? So I'm not going to be this high because I've played this game and I understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Those other dudes we playing are on athletic scholarship too.
That's right.
But I feel good where we at.
I got it. And you feel great.
I have a feeling.
I got
Stick with me after the game.
Well, guess what? We got one more show before we go into that game. We're gonna make sure we say some stuff for that. I want to shout out DC. He's in the building, Derek Colbert. I want to make sure I shout out, Dr. Chris Williams. Cruz is what they call him. But at the end of the day, they are in the building. We're gonna make sure we get them in next week. But long story short, y'all, I'm excited about this season. I'm excited about where you come from and what you've done in the past and bringing that with you. The biggest thing about it, I met a lot of the guys. I like them. You know what I'm saying? I look in their eyes. Listen, man, I don't see no fear. So they're excited. I want to make sure they stay like that. So by game 6, I want to look at them again and make sure that nothing has changed, right?
No doubt.
In the meantime, y'all hang tight. We're going to definitely be coming back with the last segment, so we'll be right back. Panther Nation, get ready to hear it straight from the source. A new voice, a new vision, a new era in Prairie View A&M University football has arrived. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. I'm your host, Karl Mayes, and every week this fall, I will be sitting down with head coach Tremaine Jackson, along with student co-host Jaylen Cole, to bring you exclusive insight, game breakdowns, and powerful conversations straight from the Hill. Catch every episode on the PVAMU Athletics YouTube channel starting August 22nd at 12 noon and dropping weekly throughout the football season. So subscribe now, smash that bell icon, and be the first to hear the coach himself. He'll be raw, he'll be real, and ready for the spotlight. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. Hey, welcome back, y'all. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Listen, I want to make sure y'all know one thing that we always do, and you probably, seen, some of the captions, but we also ask for questions from those from, the show to be able to email some questions. So we had some students to be able to email some questions, and some of our alumni got a few questions here, and I want to make sure, JC, go ahead, give Coach those questions that some of our audience sent.
Yeah, Coach, a fan asks, what's one thing Panther Nation can do this season to energize the team on game day?
Show up. Come in the stadium. Don't just think homecoming is the only home game.
Yes.
We need you there for all the games. And when you come, be loud.
Right.
Yeah.
Be loud. When it's third down and the defense is on the field, we need your help.
That's right.
We are big on energy and enthusiasm in our program. We need it from the stands. We need you when we're on the road because we're going to some hostile places as well. But the biggest thing is when I got here, people told me how much we used to come in and then lead a game and go back and forth. We need you to come in the game, be on time.
And stay.
Be on time. Stay past the halftime, and be loud the whole game. And if we up by 30 or 40 maybe one day, then I'll give you a pass to lead.
Yeah.
But other than that, we need you to stay the whole time to really show people what Prairie View A&M is about.
I love it.
Perfect.
I love it.
All right, Coach. And then another one just came in. What's the vibe like in the locker room heading into week 1? Are y'all hyped, focused, ready? What are we looking like?
Yeah, we've had an extremely long camp. It's way longer than what I'm used to, being in Division II and coming up to Division I. School starts late. School still hadn't started yet, obviously. And so we've been in this camp mode, and I think our guys are really ready to really get ready for an opponent. We turned the page on camp the other day and kind of started turning our focus toward the opponent. Our guys are ready to do that. And a lot of coaches say, hey, our guys are they're tired of hitting each other. We like to hit people, so it don't matter if it's us or somebody else. That's just kind of the culture that we're trying to instill.
Right.
But we would like to see what we can do against somebody else. But we understand we got to take the proper steps to get to that point.
Perfect. And then another question really quickly. We keep mentioning dogmatic. We talked about it last season on the set with Panther Vision. But can you just mention it for our new fans checking in? What is dogmatic and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, the characteristics it takes to be one of us, you have to be a dog. You have to be disciplined. You have to be obedient. You have to have a lot of grit. We define discipline as doing what you say you want to do. Every man in our locker room said they wanted to play college football and get a college education. We expect you to do that. Shouldn't have to chase you to do that.
That's right.
We expect you to submit and comply with the authority for the greater good of the team, which we call obedience. We don't need your ideas. We need you to adhere to our ideas and what we're doing. We think our world gets that wrong. And last but not least, man, we got to have a lot of grit. We define it as a passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. You can't play for us if you don't have grit. Man, we're going to bring you back after Martin Luther King Day. We're going to run through spring ball. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to give you 10 days off, let you get some Memorial Day chicken, and bring you right back that Tuesday, keep you all summer, and then play 14 weeks in the fall. This ain't for the faint at heart.
It's not for the
And so
faint
if you
at
don't
heart.
have a lot of grit, you won't make it with us. And on top of that, we're going to be on you about getting that schoolwork done.
That's right.
And having a 3.1 or higher GPA. So we think that those three things encompass everything that it takes to be one of us. And then when we say being dogmatic or being a dog, that's what we're talking about.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So, Coach, I want to say this before we get ready to wrap up. Your final thoughts as we get ready to kick off this wonderful 2025 Prairie View A&M University football season. What are your final thoughts before we get into next week?
Yeah, when I was driving over here, I thought about how grateful I am to be sitting in this seat, to be with the guys on my staff, that we get a chance to do this every day.
That's right.
Our players, I told them this morning, I said, man, I just want y'all to know I love y'all.
That's good.
I want to choke you sometimes, but I love you. and you might not be perfect, but you're ours.
That's right.
And so, man, there's a great responsibility that comes with being the head football coach at Prairie View A&M. We don't take that lightly.
That's right.
I'm extremely grateful. A little kid from Acres Home, Texas, man.
Acres Home.
To be sitting in this
Fo-
chair
baby.
today
Yeah.
as we were getting ready to do this. Man, I'm just extremely grateful.
Yeah.
And I look forward to putting a product out there that our fans, alums, our players' parents, our players, our coaches can be proud of.
Yes.
Because we think when we come off this hill, man, that we're going to come in the right fashion.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Listen, I want to make sure that you all know this. I always say, before we wrap up, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, share. We want you to do all of that. For those that don't know, the PV Athletics YouTube page, make sure you follow on social media, PVAMU FB. You got to make sure you do that. I know most of you already follow the university site, but definitely PVAMU FB is what it is. And listen.
Yes, and also PVAMU Panthers to see more of player insights and just behind the scenes of football tailored with them.
Yeah, and listen, I want to let y'all know, because I did a shameless plug for you. Listen, JC is definitely going to be making sure she gets some of those players, and she's going to be doing on silo interviews with them so that y'all can get to know those players. But listen, the best thing in the world is to be able to put it together, and that means be at the game. In the game, watching the game, and stand at the game, and then you get to know some of the players that you've watched because you'll be interviewing some of them. Listen, my name is Karl Mayes. This is definitely the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. My co-host, JC, in the building. Whatever you do, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Do everything I would.
Go Panthers.
Panther Nation, get ready to hear it straight from the source. A new voice, a new vision, a new era in Prairie View A&M University football has arrived. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. I'm your host, Karl King Mayes, and every week this fall, I will be sitting down with head coach Tremaine Jackson, along with student co-host Jaylen J.C. Cole, to bring you exclusive insight, game breakdowns, and powerful conversations straight from the hill. Catch every episode on the PVAMU Athletics YouTube channel starting August 22nd at 12 noon and dropping weekly throughout the football season. So subscribe now, smash that bell icon, and be the first to hear the coach himself. He'll be raw, he'll be real, and ready for the spotlight. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. All right, y'all, we're back. That's right, the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show. Listen, I want to make sure you know, I wanted to definitely get both of these gentlemen's final thought, but I wanted to make sure I got a chance to ask another question. I asked him a question earlier that I thought was very pertinent, and I knew you weren't up here anymore, but since you're back, I'm going to make sure I bring you back.
Okay.
I think, you know, what is interesting about our upcoming season is that it is to be determined because we have to play it, right?
No doubt.
When you know that these guys, these young men, are getting ready to go to war. They are about to enforce their will on an entirely different team. What is one of the things from a concept-wise that if for whatever reason it didn't turn out like you expected, that you would at least want to see from them?
Effort. That's
Expand on it. Expand. Tell me about it.
So for me, it's the effort, it's the hustle, it's the desire, running to the ball, trying to make plays. Like, I will never be upset if somebody's giving their all and somebody else is just better than them,
Gotcha.
right? Like, that's just life,
Got
right?
it.
But effort is the one thing that we talk about all the time, is like, give maximum effort and then let the chips fall where they may.
Got it. You know, that's one thing they used to say in college. They used to say, you can either get if you're gonna fail something, you can get an earned F or something I'm just gonna give you. Like, I want you to leave everything on the field. If I know when I go back and watch the tape, you left everything on the field.
Yep.
You're not gonna give them a pass, but you can be like, okay, we still got better. I get that. I appreciate that. That lets me know we all in the same vein. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what happened, and all of y'all that's out here watching. If we gonna fight, I'm going down fighting.
There you go.
And I will not lay down, right? And when the bell ring or the clock is over, just take what I pick up all my stuff, go and regroup, and get ready for the next one.
Absolutely.
So this is what I want to ask you, and I want to make sure I get a chance to let Coach go first. But I want to get y'all's final thoughts before this 2025 season gets ready to kick off, because we here now, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
The year started great. You know, brothers, came in. You sent car services. We went to eat. We talked about it. We here now. The curtain, ladies and gentlemen, is about to be let down. We got to see what product we're working with. What are your final thoughts before we embark upon this next week?
So first of all, I'm excited, and I want to just say I'm appreciative of Bar 5015.
Yes, shout out to Bar 5015.
Shout out to you for being the
Appreciate
host
it,
here and everybody who put this together, because this is a lot of work to put together. This is something, when I came here 2 years ago, that I wanted to do, and now this is something where, when you have a vision and something comes to fruition,
that's right.
Like, I feel good about this,
that's
right?
That's right.
And I feel good about next week, right? Obviously, on the 30th, we got a big game, but we got 2 events before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we're collaborating with Texas Southern for the first time in a long time, right? And so next Thursday, you know what I'm saying, Thursday morning, 8 o'clock, we're going golf tournament, Golf Club of Houston. And then that next night, we're coming back downtown. You got the sneaker ball, and I know you're going to play a big part of that. I'm going to turn them up. Yeah. Just so that y'all know, that's the other side of me. At the Hilton Americas. So we're excited about what's coming up. That's right. We're excited about not just next weekend, but we're excited about the entire season, and we're looking forward to continue support like this coming out and supporting PV Nation. I love it. So it's a bunch of festivities, and in the midst of that, you got to try to stay focused. Because you got to keep the main thing, right? No doubt. It was funny because I walked up to Coach earlier. I said, "Hey man, you coming out to the?" Nope. He is focused. We trying to make sure you got to be focused. So I get it. Keep the main thing. What are your closing thoughts?
Yeah, I would echo what AD said about Bar 5015 and yourself, man. This started out as an idea. It did. And, man, I tell our team all the time, this guy named Victor Hugo that said there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Ooh, and it's amazing how when people have great ideas, as we often do at Prairie View A&M, things get put together fairly quickly and very professionally. So I'm just appreciative of that. I'm very grateful to be the head football coach at Prairie View A&M. Yeah. It comes with great responsibility. It comes with great passion and desire for our people, our coaches, our players, men and women on our staff. Yeah. Man, we're just excited to be here. But we understand the job at hand, too. We're here to win football games. That's right. We're here to build young men. We tell our guys all the time, football is what we do. We're in the business of winning. That's right. We're going to take care of business. We're taking care of business. And so we fully expect to come off this hill in the right manner. Michael Jackson has a song that goes, blah, bop, bop. We're going to hear some of that next week.
I love
We're going
it.
to hear some of that next week.
Listen, hold on. We got to make sure we don't let that slide. Hold on. I need y'all to know that. He said the song is called a sound effect. How I go, Coach? So, just so that y'all know, you know, the first up to bat to get that is Texas Southern University. Shout out to Texas Southern. We partnering with y'all next week. We got a bunch of festivities, but we are keeping the main thing. And I got to let y'all know something. Shout out to Ms. Thurston. Shout out to, you know, Dr. Cruz coming up with the idea to be able to do this coaches show. And I think what's amazing, you're right about ideas. One of the things I like to say is that 100% of the world's population has ideas. Less than 1% brings them to life.
No doubt.
This is how you execute. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, y'all. I got to let y'all know. Oh, and before we go, Dr. Cruz, come over here right quick. No, I need you to do this, man. Did you send something to me? I'm going to make sure I see it because he ain't being shy. He don't never be shy. I'm just letting y'all know something. But I want to make sure I get a chance to talk about what is coming up. All right, here we go. Right now, just so that y'all know, the tickets are on sale right now for the Battle of the Bands, the Pepsi Battle of the Bands. It was right here in Houston, Texas, happening Saturday, August 23rd, which is in 2 days from us, or a day, should I say, tomorrow. 4:30 p.m. NRG Stadium right here in Houston, Texas. If you're not doing something, you got to go ahead and go. Get your tickets right now. Go ahead and show up tomorrow. You're going to have a great time. Take your family. Do what you need to do. But I do want to let y'all know, nothing is going to come to anybody who sits, right? So you're going to have to get out there and be able to do it. The PV Marching Storm is there. The former PV Marching Storm alum, Mark Gordon, is going to lead Langston University. He is definitely going to make sure they look good. I always say I went to watch them one time. They almost look like PV, just in another color. But at the end of the day, that's how we do with our lineage. In the meantime and in between time, shout out to my co-host, my student co-host, JC. I am Karl Mayes, a.k.a. the King MC, a.k.a. your woman's favorite MC. But in the meantime, we'll see y'all next week. Holla back.
I love it.
Panther Nation, get ready to hear it straight from the source. A new voice, a new vision, a new era in Prairie View A&M University football has arrived. The Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back. I'm your host, Karl King Mayes, and every week this fall, I will be sitting down with head coach Tremaine Jackson, along with student co-host Jaylen JC Cole, to bring you exclusive insight, game breakdowns, and powerful conversations straight from the hill. Catch every episode on the PVAMU Athletics YouTube channel, starting August 22nd at 12 noon, and dropping weekly throughout the football season. So subscribe now, smash that bell icon, and be the first to hear the coach himself. He'll be raw, he'll be real, and ready for the spotlight. This is the Tremaine Jackson Coaches Show, where Panther football talks back.